I cannot have my feet hanging off the bed. I can't let them out of the sheets if they're hanging off the bed.
The foot goblin will get you.
Yeah, gremlins will get me. They're waiting under all these years. They've been waiting under the bed. They've been waiting for my feet.
Gotcha, bitch.
Time.
This is the Welcome Distraction Podcast with the Kemp brothers. Their immature stories, advice, and opinions are their own and should be taken with the same level of seriousness as a drunk uncle's late-night conspiracy theory. Now buckle up, buttercups. It's about to get weird.
All right, guys. They're making fun of me because I'm trying to figure out this intro stuff. But we are so glad you came back to the Welcome Distraction Podcast. I am the middle child by 3 minutes, one of your hosts, Brett Kemp. And we've got the original prototype, Christopher. And our younger brother we were always told to be nice to, but never were, Nicholas.
Mother.
So I'm rocking the Utah Mammoth hat today.
Watching the Mammoth beard too.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm gonna trim that down. We're gonna get a haircut. We're gonna twin it up and shave these beards down a little bit, and maybe one day we'll shave them all off together for an episode.
Let's do this. Episode 5.
Yeah, we'll do it for charity.
Ew,
anyway, so we're gonna dive into one of our topics here today. We're going to start off with something that people talk about every now and then. I know my kids have talked about some of their weird fears, irrational fears. What's weird to you? What's irrational to you? What some people think is completely normal. What bothers you? Drop comment, feedback. Let us know what yours are. We love to hear about it. But also, I'll go first, and I'll start with one of mine that I don't know. Some people call it pet peeves, but you can call it what you will. But I cannot stand when I'm out in a public setting and I go to a restaurant or something like that, and I just cannot stand to watch old people eat.
No, this drives me crazy. Please stop. This is like nails on a chalkboard to me. Okay, go ahead. Chew like that all day.
It's so gross to me. It makes me lose my appetite. It makes me not hungry at all.
Any old person, or are you talking like dentures, all of the above? All the things.
Just let your imagination run wild. For me, it's kind of like, hey, I love old people. They're sweet, bless their hearts. I'm going to be an old person. I'll probably be the person that I'm talking about. No, I think it's just, you tend to kind of run into that stereotype when you're older and you're just sloppier. Christopher, you're pretty close. You just start slapping your gums more and your teeth and not caring because, hey, you're on death's doorstep. You don't give a shit. And then once I see it, I can't unsee it, so I kind of have to change where I'm sitting. That's just me, Some people, it's just.
So do you think you're going to eventually reach an age where you're going to be like, God, I cannot stand to watch myself eat?
I am not eating in front of the mirror anymore.
Those young people.
I hear it every time I chew. I hear it. I am disgusting.
Yeah, I'm just going to drink protein shakes then.
Yeah. You're like, oh my gosh, I hate the way I drink through a straw.
Mm-hmm. I'm so disgusting. Yeah, that's. I don't know what it is, and I think it's just become more of I'm self-aware to the fact that. So when I go into a fast food restaurant or even a sit-down restaurant, and I'll see like here's a potential suspect of gonna eat in front of me, so I need to sit over there. I need to not be facing this individual that may be showing me half of what they're eating while they're eating it. Yeah, no, not a fan, and yes. Irrational fear, maybe that's a stretch, but it's a fear that I have because it's going to ruin my meal, and then I'm not going to be hungry and I don't want to eat.
Fuck you, I'm out.
So, what do you got?
The worst is when it's somebody right? This is just in general. If it's and I don't have to be old people, but loud chewers, obnoxious, and once you hear it, you're like, oh my gosh, this is a really good meal, and I'm not going to be able to eat it because. All I can hear is them chewing it up and regurgitating their half.
Yeah. Nope. See, I'm losing my appetite right now. Thanks a lot. I was going to eat some food after this, but probably not now. So
that's gross. That's more of a just gross. It's a fear of losing money on a good meal. That's more of the fear of that. Yeah, for sure. Gross.
What
What
one
else you
that
got?
you have?
I'm deathly afraid of snakes. I'm sure I'm not the only one that has that fear, but I have
Like any snake?
nightmares. Huh?
Like there's not like a size to this. It's any snake.
I mean, yeah, snakes in general. Like I have regular nightmares, probably at least once a week about snakes.
Wow.
I'm like Indiana Jones, really. I think I just
And
I have
meaning
a
scared of snakes, not like in the the adventure type.
Like I like to think that in the middle of these nightmares, I'm like,
These damn snakes on these damn planes.
I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
just 2 days ago, like I'm having these dreams, an alligator or something that I saw earlier that day, and all of a sudden that leads to like some guy running past me with a water moccasin, and for whatever reason, I start following this guy. Next thing you know, I'm holding the water moccasin.
What?
And I've got it behind the head, and it's like trying to get away, and like it. I remember waking myself up.
So you don't care about the alligator. You're like, no, 12-foot alligator.
I don't care.
Fine.
It's this black water moccasin that now somehow I'm holding, and it's turning on me. And I remember waking myself up and screaming like a little bitch. I was like, ah!
Turned out
Grabbed
it
your
was just
snake.
a wild trouser snake. He woke up and had his dick in his hand.
So it was a baby snake.
It was weirdo because it was black.
Right, and the waist down. That's the way it is,
I was born a poor black child.
So yeah,
I woke up with that magnum trouser snake. Right out of my
Baby
dream.
I was attacking myself.
So I started killing that snake. So like, honey, bite its head off. No, just kidding.
So like 5 minutes later, after it shot its venom, I was
think
able
you're
to
onto a
wrestle it
different
down
fear altogether
and finally
now.
calm down a little bit.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what Christopher's got instead of Nicholas and his tummy sticks, trouser snakes.
So we're talking like actual fears, and this one has developed more over time as I've gotten older. It's more of a confined spaces, right? Claustrophobic. At first, it didn't really bother me. You probably could have grabbed a blanket and held it over me, and I'd be like, okay, that doesn't bother me. But now, just the thought of like someone grabbing you, the blanket, and holding you down, can't move, that kind of freaks me out. But as I've gotten older, I can't do MRIs. They have to be open MRIs, or I have to be like out of it, sedated a little bit, confined spaces.
Like the back of a Volkswagen?
It's in the back of Volkswagen, definitely, absolutely. Compromised space. But it's gotten to the point now to where if I put on, if I'm going to wear a dress shirt and I'm going to put another shirt underneath it, the shirt underneath it's too tight, and I have like 2 layers of shirts, I start to think about it. I'm like, I gotta, I know. I was like, I gotta get this shirt off. So I'll be like driving sometimes, start thinking about it, and I'm like, I gotta get this hoodie off. Take it off. Take the wheel.
How do you even
right
go
now.
snowboarding with me then? I don't
Hey,
get it.
yeah, exactly. Remember, Nicholas, when we went to Kansas City and Dolphins game, it was negative 12.
4
and
layers on.
we had like 10 layers on. We were, no kidding, little brother Randy from Christmas Story.
What is it? I can't put my arms down.
Where you could not put your arms down. You could hardly move. But we were laid up like 10. There is no way I could do that right now to even survive. I would die. Just all the layers just get so claustrophobic. So confined spaces, things like that.
They
Carrying
find him
into, like-
dead out in the snow. What happened to him? Well, he had all kinds of winter clothes, but he was naked.
Yeah. Like,
died right next to 10 layers.
yeah, like you're like in an empty 10 acres, nothing around at all. How'd he die? Claustrophobia. Took his clothes off and died.
This open field? Yep, nope, didn't take it.
He froze to death from claustrophobia.
Well, and that goes right
And
into
trouser
being,
snake got him.
that goes right into being buried alive. And people, I think Dad used to say that. He's like, "Oh, I feel cozy, a coffin." Like, oh yeah. Like, there's no way in hell. Was that Ryan Reynolds movie not long ago?
I need $1 million by 9 o'clock tonight, or I'll be left to die in this coffin.
Buried alive, whatnot. Yeah, there's no way I could even attempt that. No.
Scares the hell out of me. Like I have these crazy thoughts of like, what if like when you die, like you still like feel it, and like if you choose to be buried and you're in a coffin, like, and you have to sit there and like and feel it, like, oh
Eternity.
my god, like
Ugh.
that scares the hell out of me. Like there's times when I'm on a plane where I have to make sure I don't start thinking about it because
The snakes.
there's nowhere you can go. You might as well be in a submarine. You know, like, ugh.
Well, yeah, submarine, yeah. There's another confined space. Now I don't know how I did it. Even in St. Louis, they have this. It's a city museum, and outside they have this huge jungle gym, if you will, made out of junkyard stuff. Then you go inside, and then they have these different rooms you can go to, and you can go inside the walls. So you can go from room to room inside the walls, but it is, you cannot turn your body around. So once you get going through it, and it's probably about 3 foot wide, squeeze in it, and you can see people's feet from each room and what's going on, the different events going on. And then if somebody comes behind you, you have to keep going. So you go inside the walls. And I did that with my kids, and
Nope.
There's no way in hell I could do that now. It just, that fear has grown so much over time. Just,
You know what I would say? Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids. Fuck the kids?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
So you would not be into spelunking? Is that what you're saying?
Oh man,
You heard
yeah.
about that guy out there near you, right, Brett? Down
Yeah,
south.
I went to a couple, and I have that too. Not to the level of Christopher, but we went down in some of those cave stuff, and I didn't even know how to do it. But you just have to completely block it out of your mind, and just keep going, just keep swimming there, and go through the tour. But if you start just analyzing it and thinking about how, oh my gosh, I can't get out of here, or where am I right now? I'm 30, 40 feet underground. Oh God, yeah. Drive yourself crazy and run out of there screaming like a little bitch.
We went to a cave when we were up in Tennessee, and it was like 170 feet underground,
Mm-hmm.
and like just
170 feet,
something like that. It was pretty crazy.
I'm out. Nope.
Yeah, you take an elevator down to it. So it was originally a tunnel that the train used to go through this cave, and this guy bought the land in the cave in the mountain, and he was trying to drill down, and they came before they got all the way down to where the tunnel was. They got to this huge
magma
blast of like air came through, and they were like, "Huh, let's go and check this out." So the guy crawled for like, it was like a half a mile, just crawled through this like crevice, and they eventually
Shawshank Redemption.
Andy crawled to freedom through 500 yards of shit-smelling foulness I can't even imagine.
This huge opening, and there's a big like water fountain under there. So it's like the largest like underground waterfall or in North America, I think.
I can't remember what they call those.
But we went to that, and I had to block it out, and just not think about where we were. It was cool. I'm glad I did it, but man, yeah.
You know what else scares me? It's when you're watching sports and there's a tie. Nothing worse than a tie in soccer. Nothing worse than the NFL.
Like Ted Lasso says, like kissing your sister.
Yeah, ties are horrible. There's nothing worse than spending 2, 3, 4 hours to watch a tie. That scares the shit out of me.
Anticlimactic, right? So I think the last thing that I'll say for irrational fear, and I think a lot of people have this one in common, and it's probably from being tortured by watching, for me, 80s, 90s movies growing up, the B-rated horror, but this wasn't B-rated, but can't have my feet hanging off the bed. I cannot have my feet hanging off the bed. I can't let them out of the sheets. If they're hanging off the bed,
the foot goblin will get you.
Yeah, and gremlins will get me. They're waiting under all these years. They've been waiting under the bed. They've been waiting for my feet.
Gotcha, bitch.
They're gonna get me. No, so I still can't do that. No matter how hot I am or how much the blankets are consuming me. Nope, can't let them feet hang off the side of the bed or the end of the bed.
That's just crazy.
Like when you go to a hotel room, are you gotta have it untucked?
Yeah, I order an untucked.
I will hurt my back or tear my ACL trying to kick those blankets loose, bottom of the bed.
I would think if you didn't want your feet hanging off, you would want like even more security and would leave it tucked.
But then this goes into Christopher's thing. Claustrophobia. Nope. I gotta pick which way I'm gonna die. Either in the confined spaces of the sheet or gremlins. I guess I'm fighting gremlins. Yeah.
Man, you're screwed.
All right. Okay. So moving on, but first we're gonna give take the opportunity to plug ourselves and keep the party going. But we just want to quickly remind everybody that we're on all the platforms. That's Spotify, Patreon, TikTok. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Patreon. But we're on that one. Facebook, the Insta, as the kids say. Instagram.
Yeah, all the things. Things.
We're on all those things, and we'd love to hear from you. Mash, subscribe, hit the buttons, whatever the hell you got to do, and I'll leave us some comments and feedback.
Try to get on MySpace. Is that still a thing?
Tom, I heard Tom sold it pretty good. No. Yeah.
Damn.
But we're on the things. We're trying to grow. We're trying to get better. So we want to hear from you. So if you got ideas on how we can do that, tell us how we can get better. I don't know. So that's going to take us into our next thing. We're going to kind of set the stage here for
Tee it up, Brother Brett.
Here. Oh, man. The stage is picture the Sandlot. That's older, but this is more modern Sandlot. When we're kids at the public pool, we're hanging out. We spend all day there at the pool. We get dropped off at as soon as they open, probably even before they open. We'd have 50 cents to get in. I think you had to pay.
Yeah, we'd be waiting in line.
$1 so I could buy some sweet tarts from the vending machine.
Or try to finagle and get free shit out of the vending machine.
We abused the living shit out of that vending machine.
We stood by there and was go. Something's hung up.
Sweet tarts. Go.
Yeah, we'd shake the shit out of it till it dropped. But we'd hang out there all day. I mean, that was
to go get money.
That was our food source. We would hang out there.
We were only given enough to get into the pool, not to eat.
Reese's or sweet tarts or something, change. And we'd hang out there, and then we'd be trying to get the nerve to jump off those high dives boards, and then hang out there all day, keeping our eyes open way too much in the over chlorinated pee water, and till your eyes were so bloodshot that you could barely see, and it stung so bad. And then eventually be the time for us to head out. So you leave the huge public pool. It was a huge park too. So not just
it was Lake Lido Park. They had all baseball fields. They had basketball courts. It was a huge. Probably had to be 50 acres big. It was a huge complex.
Yeah. So you'd be walking around, hanging out there, and we'd have our towels draped over us with our wet bathing suits, getting air dried, and waiting for mom or dad to eventually come remember to pick us up.
I'll be driving. I'll just be too shit-faced to remember to pick you guys up.
We're trying not to burn our feet. We're 60 pounds wet.
Oh yeah. We're not even teenagers yet. I think maybe we were teenagers. You were, Nicholas,
we were teenagers.
9 or 10, hanging out with us.
So this had to be 1990.
Yeah. And we were tiny. We couldn't, a palm frond could have fallen off the tree and killed us. I mean,
yeah.
there's nothing we could have done to prevent anybody from just an eagle could have taken one of us away.
Yeah. So when we're eventually getting picked up, I'd say it's probably 3 or 4 o'clock. It's still sunny Florida. And we go out to this road because, of course, mom and dad want to go to the quickest area to pick us up. So, they're going to come to a rolling stop, jump in, and, head back to the house or wherever errands they were about to run or get back from. So, but we were waiting out there, and this was a kind of a normal occurrence every other week that we'd kind of go there, especially in the summer months. And this one particular case, I say one particular, but I think it happened multiple times, but we're hanging out there, and there's a main road that goes there. So not just 1 or 2 cars. It's not like a neighborhood road. It's a pretty busy road. We're not talking a highway, but it was a busy road, 2-way traffic, two lanes. And one time this car, and just to paint the picture, I believe it was a dark blue Toyota Tercel or Camry, and this piece of shit car, it comes by, and this guy drives by. He's got, the way I remember it, some pedo-looking mustache and red hair, and he drives by and he just yells, something inaudible, can't tell what it was.
Yeah,
and
really.
he just drives by and it gets our attention. We're like, what the hell did he just say? What was that?
He talking to us?
Yeah, he just yelled something like, did he think we were too close to the road? Oh, okay. I don't know,
Yeah.
So
That's the way we were. We were always like, did we do something wrong? Shit,
because we're usually fucking around or something like that, or pretending we're smoking cigarettes or pretending to fight or really fighting on the side of the road. So it wouldn't have been uncommon for us to get yelled at for screwing around.
Hey,
But
leave him alone.
it was probably maybe 5 minutes later.
A few moments later.
All of a sudden, this car comes by again, and then we see it coming, and this guy yells pretty close to something to the effect, "Hey, my sister wants to know which one y'all's got a bigger dick," and he just keeps driving to these little boys. Nick's raising his hand for those of you not watching, but yeah. So this guy just drives by, and he says that to us, and we're just like dumbfounded.
Yeah,
like,
we're like, that's
the
not fair.
hell?
2 of us are twins.
So this dude just drives by, and then he, like 5 minutes later, he comes back again, and he yells something to the same effect. Hey.
Yeah, but now I think he's slowing down even more. Like, I'm gonna try to conversate with these kids. Maybe snatch me one.
And he yelled something else again, something about dicks, and which one? Yeah, he's probably slowing down to see which one. Like, hey, I'll jump in. Well, you got candy? Yeah. But this freaking pervert is driving by yelling this shit. And he must have done it like 4 or 5 times while we're sitting there waiting for our parents to come get us.
And truth be told, we probably didn't even understand really what was going on. We're just like, no way, this guy's yelling at us. This is weird. This is so crazy.
I didn't even know my dick was out, and he's sitting there yelling about
glad
it.
he told me though. And then I'm sure it happened a few times, and we're just like, this is crazy. Let's tell the story. And we get in the car and we leave.
Yeah, and we tell Dad about it, and he's like, "What the hell?" And he's taking it with kind of a grain of salt or whatever. Like, you just heard wrong. It was something like, no, he gave us multiple opportunities to hear him yelling some ridiculous, perverted shit to these kids, and we were just dumbfounded, like, what the hell?
Probably Jeffrey Dahmer when he was younger.
Oh God, but he was some kind of sicko. So then, fast forward, probably within a year or two. And me and Christopher, we used to ride our bikes to our middle school, and it was I think like 2, 3, 4 miles away. And
5 miles. It was 5 miles.
Okay, 5 miles. So so we would ride to and from school. Bike riders got to get out a little bit earlier, so I think that was the perk, and it was fun. But it was another day after school. We're just riding, and then we had our route that we would take, and we'd go through the little residential neighborhoods and cut through our certain path. And all of a sudden, here comes this piece of shit little blue Tercel riding by an intersection. Hey, my sister wants to know which one of y'all got bigger dick.
Same line.
Oh my
same
God,
line.
Same motherfucker. He's sitting there
It was
yelling
a pedo
about
pickup
dicks again.
line. That son of a bitch.
And he's sitting there riding by. This was his go-to move, to yell at adolescent teenagers about their dicks and sister. And like, I don't know what his goal or his purpose was, but we helped him find what his goal was going to be.
Yeah, and that's what we realized. We were definitely a target of his. This was not an accident. This wasn't some young teenager going back and forth and trying to get a reaction out of us. This is now a grown man stalking us, really
weirdo. Yeah,
coming, trying to make a move, if you will, like 2 totally different areas, like Lake Lytle versus those.
Yeah, and then that's another point you should make, that these are probably 10 to 15 miles apart in location, and this guy's trolling the residential streets while kids are trying to get home from school, yelling this ridiculous shit. So we pedaled our little bikes as fast as we could. Our little legs would carry us home, and we told Dad, and Dad was a ex-cop, and we told him about it, and he's like, all right, if that happens again, you need to get his license plate, So now we're kind of, like, all right, we're, I didn't say I want to see this guy, but we wanted to take him down.
Challenge accepted.
So sure enough, within the next few weeks, it happened again.
Yeah, we didn't go looking for it, but we definitely didn't stray away from our normal routine. We would still cut through the subdivision and everything, and we had our head on a swivel, and sure enough, little blue Tercel guy, roly-poly, pudgy, white pedo guy pops out.
Pedo!
What?
Pedo!
Asking the same old questions.
Yep. yell the same old shit, and we're yelling stuff back too. You know, being
Yeah. Now we're like,
teenagers, young.
thinking our own way. We're like, fuck this guy, you know. Come on, bring it on.
Well, then he fucked up though, because he let us get close enough on our bikes that we got his license plate, and we etched that in our brains super quick. We got it, Florida plate, memorized it, and we got home and we told our dad, and he called his old Palm Beach PD connections, and the story he told us was that he made a couple phone calls and that these guys went and tracked this guy down based off of what we said to him, and basically kicked in his door and threatened his life for harassing his kids, and looked him
So
up.
we wouldn't have to worry about that no more. Like, oh,
Yeah. So I mean,
we never did.
long story, a little shorter. We never saw that motherfucker again. You know, so I like to think that, you know, maybe, you know, he found his way to some dark, confined space that Christopher would love. And, you know.
Truth is, he probably went on and captured other kids.
God, no.
Meanwhile, when they kicked the door in, his sister
was right there and like, hey.
was standing by the chalkboard and was keeping tally.
Right.
Who had the longest dick?
Whoa, wait.
We're just trying to do research here. Damn.
Yeah, we kept them on our toes. We changed our answer every time. I think each one of us. This is a tie this time. Oh no, a different fear.
And the guy was probably, like you said, he's just doing research. He was trying to find out what the average, you know, penis length was, and you know, he didn't know. Maybe we were 18 in his eyes.
We
18,
should go
19.
online and see if there was a study done back in the 1990s.
Yeah, I was just trying to do this job. These cops kicked the door in. These assholes said I was harassing them. I simply told them my sister wanted to know whose dick was bigger.
No,
I said it the nicest way possible. And I think it's because I was a ginger, and they were against me because of the color of my hair.
I'm being targeted here.
Yeah,
Just trying to grow a nice mustache.
Yeah, but again, I still can imagine nowadays my kids doing any of that, riding the bikes, dropping them off at park, leaving them, no connection, no phones, no nothing. Just, hey, see you when we see you.
Oh man, that was crazy time. You know, that was Anyway, so changing it up now. We'll talk about something that's kind of dark, but I think one time we were up in Virginia, and we were young again, and there was this time there were these crazy asshole dogs that lived behind our grandma's, and we were always get told to go outside and play, you know. And it was a smaller backyard. There was a barn back there. It wasn't like some sprawling acre
big
or something.
red deck that they had, or a deck that could really get up high and you could see over into the other yards, and everything was kind of going on. There's a barn back there, still relatively small yard, a lot of pine trees and everything. So standing in the backyard, you could see 4 or 5 different backyards. That was when the age of chain link fences.
Yes. Everybody had chain link fences.
Now, you look around today, you see a chain link fence, and you're like, oh, that's weird.
Dang, I'm not doing
I think
so
you guys
well.
set the stage a little more so people understand. Like, our grandparents lived in Virginia, so we'd go there once a year. Like, the day school got out, we would get in the van and drive like all through the night.
16 hours.
We'd get there, 16 hours later, and you know, the grandparents would see us, and it's like, oh, it's all excitement. And then like 10 minutes later, it's like, you know, them and the parents are like, all right, get the hell out of here. Right? We don't want anything to do with you. Go find something to do. We have nothing for you to do. We have no toys for you. Nothing, you know, no friends. There's no kids your age in this neighborhood. Go figure something out.
Yeah, I just wanted a bologna sandwich with Miracle Whip. Mayonnaise. What's the difference? There's no difference. Eat the damn mayonnaise.
Yeah. You couldn't see grandma anyway. Like, I'm trying to, there's so much secondhand smoke in here, I can't tell which one is who anyway.
All I see is NASCAR, cars and banners and figurines and smoke.
Get over it. Get over it, Christopher. Rubbin's racing.
He didn't nudge you. He rubbed you. And Rubbin's son is racing.
Now get the hell
Put me
out
in the
of
wall
here.
and put me outside.
So we wind up outside, bored as hell,
because we got nothing
to do.
No, we don't
nothing
have
around us.
We can't shoot squirrels.
Yeah, and all we see are these 2 big dogs.
Yeah. I remember there was bushes that lined that chain link fence, but it didn't stop you from seeing. And then there was a picnic table that was close to those bushes and that chain link fence that they'd make us that bologna sandwich and say, all right, now go outside and eat. Okay. But we'd go out there, and there was these crazy asshole dogs that were a chain link square fence inside the backyard fence. And they had
I'd
a
say,
couple
what were
dog
they?
houses.
Were they were like old Yeller, right? They were golden retriever or something of that nature.
The
Big
yard
dog.
was fenced in, and then it was a square
Pen,
fenced
yeah.
in like cage for these dogs with dog houses. And all I remember thinking is like, man, if those dogs weren't in that cage and they weren't on a leash and they weren't in a fenced in area, they would be attacking me right now.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
probably
very
could get
aggressive.
over that short chain link fence. Yeah,
It was pretty weird to think that they were on a chain
Mhm.
in a pen inside of a chain link fence backyard.
Only now do you realize or think
Yeah.
about that and be like, that's super weird. Why would they do that? Why would you put
Because
them?
them dogs are crazy.
They were already in a confined set, but these would typically be what you would think be nice, friendly dogs. But I don't know what their lives were leading up to it. But they weren't just barking. They weren't just like your annoying neighborhood dog. They were growling aggressively and crazy if they just saw you. You didn't have to be near the fence, or you weren't teasing them or anything like that. But they were crazy dogs. So maybe they were used as hunting dogs and abused or whatever. But they were complete crazy assholes. So they had these dog houses inside these taller chain link square, probably like a 12 by 12 fenced in area, maybe. So they didn't have any room to, run, move, do anything. So we're worried about them digging out from underneath or something like
I
that.
do remember them having enough chain links in their chain to run around.
Jump on top of their dog
a little
house.
bit. Oh,
Just enough to
yeah.
get on top of that doghouse.
Yeah, I remember thinking like,
While they're
holy
chained.
shit, they're trying to get to us. We're
Yeah,
gonna die.
Yeah. These dogs were absolutely crazy. So they were full grown dog houses. They weren't that dog glue plastic made.
Yeah,
These
no.
were like little squares with little shingle roofs that were on each side. So to paint the picture, we're sitting there trying to eat these sandwiches or hang out and figure out something to do. And while we're sitting there,
Dogs are going ape shit.
Yeah, they're going
Barking their heads
crazy.
off.
They're growling. They're just like acting like they're going to eat the small child, which we were. So we were a little worried about that. And one of the dogs got up on the doghouse, and I don't think that was completely unusual for it because it was just doing what it could in that small confined space. And it got up on the doghouse, and now it was able to put its paws on the top of the chain link fence. And we're even more scared, and we want to go inside.
Jump out?
Yeah, we want to go inside, but it's a storm of secondhand smoke in there, and we're told to get outside anyway. So we're trying to figure out what to do. So we're out here clinging to our lives that these dogs aren't going to escape. And what happens next? This dog is so ready to get out of that chain link fence. It somehow pulled itself up on the top of that chain link fence. And as it pulled that, and remind you, this dog still has a leash on, one of these choker chain leashes that is on its collar, neck, or around its neck. And it throws itself over the fence. And that's where the traumatization began for us, because all of a sudden now we go into this other mode. This dog has now thrown itself over the chain link fence, and the chain link fence is too tall that this dog is not touching the ground.
He has begun to hang himself.
Oh, and we are freaking out, and we're like, oh my gosh, this evil, crazy dog, we don't want to see it die. So we were trying to figure out what to do. And I don't remember anybody being in the house that we could get.
Well, that's when you were like, I can't eat this bologna sandwich.
It's not doing it for me anymore.
Tried to give it to him. He wasn't eating it.
Started with the dog, and then it moved to old people.
Yeah,
I think somebody hopped the fence and ran around to the front of the. After had to be at least 5 minutes of panic. Nobody's in our house. Nobody's responding. We're like, what the hell are we doing? That dog, and we're trying to get to the dog. Remember, the dog probably has 30, 40 pounds on us, easy. It's a huge dog. And so I think one of us jumps the other fence, gets around to the front of their house because nobody's there, and we're banging on it. I don't even know if anybody was home, but I know it was a significant amount of time before someone got to that dog.
I remember went to the front yard where somebody was doing yard work at the house next door, and we went and told this guy who was probably in his 30s or 40s, and he came running back there. And I remember we were afraid that we couldn't do anything with that dog because it was going to, if we did save it, it was going to eat us.
Well, I do remember the guy going over there and trying to get it up, but because it was so much weight and it was hanging down, there was not much he could do to relieve the pressure off of the chain that is now over the edge, and he's hanging down over the edge. And the dog is no longer breathing, tongue's hanging out its mouth. It was pretty sad. It was traumatizing for a couple of, I guess, 11-year-old and a 9-year-old, maybe. You know, we're probably younger than that. But yeah, let's just say after a considerable amount of time, there was only one dog in that pen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either they made him an in-house dog or he didn't.
I mean, I'm sure he was fine. I think they was giving him mouth to snout love.
All dogs go to
It's
heaven.
normal for them to turn purple like that, right?
Yeah. But it's just crazy because you got to think nobody did the math on that ever. Like, hey, chain link, doghouse, nope, boom. So
put a leash on the dog inside of a cage. I mean, I guess they were worried about getting him out.
Yeah.
How fucked up is that story though? You know, 3 young kids trying to just hang out and eat some bologna sandwiches, and we saw that. So,
and we've all three had dogs, so we're dog lovers, and so it was hard to watch.
So it was sad.
And looking at like we said, looking at it now from our point of view, like those people shouldn't even have dogs. You know, if you're just gonna lock them up in the backyard and like triple like secure them, like, and just leave them back there, what's the point in even having the dogs? So it was sad, but I really want a bologna sandwich right now.
Hey, with Miracle Whip. None of that mayonnaise shit.
Yeah.
Even though I think later in life I did come around. Mayonnaise ain't too bad.
Yeah, now that's sugar-free shit, though.
Actually, I don't eat bologna either. Too much when we were little. Actually, add that to the fear of bologna. Yeah, we've had some crazy stories. So we talked about some fears, some pedos, chasing us down, unfortunate dog accident that we had to witness. But yeah, part of growing up made us who we are.
Yeah, let us know if you've got some crazy ass stories like that. We want to hear them. Share it with us. That might spur some other memories that we've got or topics that we can talk about in the future.
So I think we've covered everything we were going to cover today. Remember to like, subscribe, check us out on all the things: the Patreon, the Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, all of them, all the things.
So we'll wrap up this episode on the Welcome Distraction podcast. We'll see you next time. We're out. All right, guys. Thanks for being with us. See you next time.
Peace out.